Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Hodges Mazda. Why buy from Hodges Mazda at the Avenues? Because they strive to ensure a satisfying and comfortable car buying experience. That's why the sales staff doesn't work on commission, allowing them to put your best interest first. Whether you're looking for a brand new Mazda or a pre-owned vehicle, Hodges Mazda has a large selection to help you choose from. And every vehicle purchased from Hodges Mazda comes with 2 years free maintenance and free car washes for life. Now that's peace of mind. So visit them today or shop online at hodgesmazda.com.
Golfers teed up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Callaway, featuring the Paradigm Woods and Irons. The Paradigm Woods are engineered with forged carbon to have unparalleled distance and forgiveness. The Irons feature a high-strength forged face for increased launch, speed, and spin. A new paradigm in performance. Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Unmatched expertise, unmatched service.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Concrete floors don't have to be ugly and hard to clean. Whether it's a garage with cracks, tire marks, and failed epoxy, or any concrete surface that isn't beautiful and maintenance-free, Shark Coatings will transform it. Our coating and warranty are stronger, more durable, and longer lasting than any other on the market. And because Shark Coatings is 100% UV stable for life, it's perfect for any concrete surface outside as well. Shark Coatings will let you reclaim those wasted hours spent pressure washing your driveway, patios, and walkways. Hit us up on social media or call 904-519-5055 to set up your free estimate today.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
This is Hayes Carline for the Law Office of Stephen Doty. If you were overwhelmed with credit card debt, stifling medical bills, or need relief from your mortgage, Stephen can assist you at 416-8328. Stephen Doty is also skilled at modifying time-sharing or child support and can help you if you're going through a divorce for the first time. He is the champion you need. Whether it's family law or financial assistance, Stephen can help you. Call the Law Office of Stephen Doty today at 416-8328.
Hey, poker players! The Run Good Poker Series is making a stop at Best Bet Jacksonville from March 23rd to April 2nd. The Run Good Poker Series features 9 poker events, including the $1,200 No Limit Hold'em main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool, and event number 1, $400 No Limit Hold'em with a $100,000 guarantee. Win your way in through satellites going on all month. Check out the tournament structures at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Earlier today at the NFL Scouting Combine, Jaguars sideline reporter Bucky Brooks, also from the NFL Network, he gave a report on Calvin Ridley that will excite Jaguar fans.
He may be the best receiver that we've seen since Jimmy and Keenan. And I am dead serious when I talk about in terms of the skills that he brings to the table. When I talk to the guys at Atlanta about him, and I was like, hey, man, what's up with Calvin? Like, what's going on or whatever? They're like, look, the stuff that he was dealing with, like, he can fight through that. That stuff is not a problem. On the field, he's an absolute monster. They say he's uncoverable. He's a true number one receiver.
Bucky Brooks earlier today with the Frangie Show at the NFL Combine. Check out that interview and more at 1010XL.com. 83 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Rat. Joe Velocci to Sammy the Bull Gravano. To the 3 to 4 footers down at the bank. Never rat on you, friends. And always keep your mouth shut. Great to be back. Costa Rica. Yeah, fun time. Duval. Hogan Road. No place I'd rather be as we get things rolling right here. Who'd have thought? First day of March yet. Yet again, we turn the calendar. Absolutely amazing to me. Again, don't blink. Before you know it, football will be here. Before you know it, the NFL draft will be here. Of course, tomorrow will be a very interesting day at the Combine in Indianapolis. That is officially when workouts begin, and that'll be the case Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Obviously, the interview process has gone on with all of the players who were there, as well as head coaches, general managers. We know that Doug Peterson, Trent Baalke, both of whom did speak on Tuesday, can have an opportunity here over the next couple of hours to review what they said, since I haven't offered up my opinion. And as always, we will give you the opportunity to respond. That's the way we love to do things here on Into the Night. All right, alongside JJ LaSelva, I am Rick Ballou. It was an interesting week for me in Costa Rica. I got to tell you this, it is the first time in my life I've ever gone on a vacation and returned weighing less, okay? I'm down 10 pounds because I had a massive attack of food poisoning the last couple of days. It was just absolutely brutal, and I have no idea what I ate. Granted, while I was there, I was eating with both hands, and I was consuming all sorts of whatever it was that was in front of me, whether it was Planet Hollywood, where my girlfriend's son got married, that beautiful place that we stayed inside, all-inclusive, and then at the end, went to, I don't know, an hour and a half away to the other side there at the Westin, and had an opportunity to play what they told me is the nicest golf course on Costa Rica. Another incredibly, and for me, I'm really not a highbrow guy. You know, I enjoy dive bars. I enjoy eating pizza on a sidewalk. You know, when the guys from the Jaguars Radio Network would go knocking down these, you know, very elegant chop houses and great steak houses and whatever. If I'm in New York, no, I'm going to have a couple of slices of pepperoni pizza right there on the sidewalk. I'm not typically that guy, but for this trip, that's what we did. And it was phenomenal. So let me get this straight. I got all I can eat. I got all I can drink. And I got food poisoning. And I'm puking. And it's coming out the other end. And I can't keep anything in me. So the good news is this, at least for me. I survived it. And number two, I lost a little bit of weight. Here's the key, JJ. I lost a lot of money and a little bit of weight. It could have been worse.
You also have a great tan, which you can see if you go on our YouTube page.
Hello!
1010XL. We will be the first video. Give us a share. Give us a like. Let Rick know what he looks like.
Rats and rats. Maybe that was the deal. Maybe that's what I ate. Some of the interesting stuff in that third world country that they're just cooking right there on the Barbie. If you get out of, there were a couple of times, you know, we got out of the resort or whatever, to go to, we went boating, and I saw where Michael Jordan apparently has his home, in Costa Rica. Very nice, incredibly nice place. And the rainforests, to me, were the best part, albeit they are pretty dangerous. And I'm surprised. And maybe there are. I haven't Googled it. I haven't looked at it. Maybe there are more scenarios where folks get, eaten alive by a crocodile, or I'm hanging out with a sloth who looks totally stoned. Okay, and some people ask me, "Hey, Ballou, did you bring the Jaybird, or did the sloth already have it for you when you arrived?" I have this stuff up either on Twitter, Ballou1010XL. If it's too long, I put some of it on Facebook. But that story with the snake is legit. Just looking up, I always thought that snakes and trees was like stuff out of a movie, or you watch those documentaries or whatever, and guys spend hours upon hours upon hours in the jungle, and then sooner or later they finally find a snake cruising through the trees, and you're like, they got it, and they're going to put it out there for you to see. We noticed that within like the first 45 minutes of our trip, and it just absolutely completely blew me away to see that. Live monkeys, you got it. Just birds. And I think when I get older, which for some is, well, you're already old, Ballou, I think I'm going to become a bird watcher. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, because I don't think my back, you talk about retirement, like what do you want to do when you retire? Okay, well, if you have grandchildren, that's one thing. If you don't have grandchildren, what are you going to do? You're going to play golf. You're going to go to the beach. Right? I can't see me playing shuffleboard. I can't see me rolling dice on a street corner. I don't envision me, playing chess. But I can be like, hey, honey, look at this. Let's go to this foreign place on the globe, and let's go check out exotic birds. I think that could be in my future. Now, can I become a self-imposed professional bird watcher, kind of like those movie or like mob or serial killer historians? I think those are all names and titles that they created for themselves. Can I do the same thing for birds?
I saw a movie one time. I think it was called like The Big Year.
Yeah.
And it was about a bunch of people your age who go bird watching, and it's not for you, dude.
Okay.
I don't know if you can, like, bring beers. I mean, I'm sure you can, but it's probably frowned upon in that community.
If it's yuppie,
it's very wealthy. Yeah. I don't think a lot of, like, middle-class people are bird watchers.
That was the only problem about these all-inclusive things, is it's too classy for me. That's the honest way to describe it.
I know exactly what you mean by that.
Okay, if I have to put a collar on my shirt to go to dinner, I'm already on the outs. You know how I roll. I like to wear a T-shirt, and if I'm putting a collar on, it's because I'm playing golf, and that's it. Or perhaps going to a wedding and or a funeral. But anyway, great time. No doubt about it. The people out there are simply amazing. It's really sad. It's an incredibly poor country. It's beautiful, and I can only imagine what they think of folks like us when you just see how they live, city to town or whatever, during the outskirts, and then you drive a few minutes this way, and bam, you have a locked-in, gated community with the hotels and restaurants and
Trust
everything.
me, they love you.
Well, they do, because we spend money.
Yeah.
Yep. And, that's the main part of it. But overall, it was a phenomenal time, but I am definitely glad to be back. If I rank food poisoning, I'm going to rank it second as far as sickness. Nothing is worse than when you legitimately have the flu, okay? Because the thing with the flu is, and here's what's really cruel about that. When you get the flu, you know how people handle sickness? There are those who will roll. They'll try to go for like a cool spot in the bed, and they'll do anything within their power not to puke it up. Where I have always been a believer, and this came into play thousands of times with booze and being hungover, you're better off getting it out of you. You get it out of you, you're going to end up feeling better. But the problem with the flu is when you get it and you get it out of you, it still doesn't leave you. It's still in your body. It's still in your head. And it's just a god-awful feeling. Food poisoning, I think, is number 2. But food poisoning is kind of like a combination effort because it's not just the puking. It's coming out the other side. And honestly, that ended up being much more of a problem than just puking. So you kind of got that twofold combination with food poisoning. I think everything else after that are things that we can deal with. Booze sickness is never fun. We've all been part of, I'll never drink again. I'll never do tequila again. I'll never drink Irish whiskey again. Yeah. And then you're going to do it.
on the ground of my bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
And, hangovers stink, but there are remedies. You could find ways to get over it, find ways to sweat it out, or just simply grab the hair of the dog. But I'm going to put that in my official rankings. I like to rank things. I'm going to rank sicknesses. I'm going to put food poisoning up now at number 2 behind only the legitimate flu.
I've actually never had, knock on wood, I've never had food poisoning. Do you know what the specific food might have been?
No, because
you were just gorging yourself.
Oh, my God. There was so many restaurants, and there was so much incredible food. And I do not know what it was.
How was the wedding?
The wedding was phenomenal.
Was it outside?
Oh, it was an outside wedding, right on the water.
Love that.
It was as great, it was as good as you could have asked for.
I have a surprise for you.
Okay, before you give me the surprise, I have a bigger surprise for you.
Whoa. You go first.
All the contraband that I did bring back was not confiscated by security in Costa Rica, Miami, or Jacksonville.
Did they put it in one of those? Did you go to the duty-free liquor store?
There was liquor all over the place.
No, I'm talking about in the hotel or in the airport.
No.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
That's my go-to.
I was going to bring home a bunch of Cubans, but I was just like, I'm like, Ballou, just understand where you are, okay, with this company. And if you get caught in customs,
oh my God, that would have been a great newspaper headline.
Bringing back a bunch of Cuban cohibas, it's not like anyone here would be shocked, right? But it would just be like an unnecessary distraction. Like, hey, someone from 1010XL and 92.5 FM got caught trying to smuggle Cuban cigars back. Who do you think that was? How long do you think until upper management would say, well, for crying out loud, it had to have been Ballou, right?
Probably first or second. Maybe.
Yeah. So I left it. I didn't do it. I wanted to. I was so ready, and I just didn't do it. Your surprise.
I got engaged this weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Wow. What did she say?
Weddings, she said yes.
Holy
and I know you're disappointed.
smokes.
I know you would have liked me to be, just have a
that's
relationship
not true.
for 1,000 years.
No, that's all an act. That's all radio embellishment.
Yeah. It's happening, bro.
How did you do it?
I did it on the beach. That's what made me think of your son-in-law's wedding, or however you refer to him.
Son-in-law would be it.
Yes. I just randomly woke up on Saturday morning. I had the ring for a couple months, so this was already in the works. But I didn't know when I wanted to do it. I was told, don't do it on Valentine's Day. Don't do it on New Year's Eve. That's tacky. It's lame. So I was just like, I'll do it a random day. And it was nice outside Saturday morning. I was like, let's go to the beach. And I did it, man.
Were you nervous?
I was. I had a vodka orange juice before I left the house to bring my nerves down, and I was not nervous whatsoever. It was awesome, man.
Now, you're still in the category of younger kids. Nowadays, youngsters can't do anything without it being filmed. Did you have someone there filming you?
No.
All right.
So I thought
respect
about
that.
this for a long time. I'm like, do I want to have a friend like hiding in the cut with a camera? But no, we just did it the old-fashioned way. I was like, my parents don't have a video of them getting engaged. Like, they're still married. Who cares? And she loved it. And we got a standing ovation twice from the people at the beach, so it was special.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
You did get on a knee?
I did, of course.
All right.
Had her stand up.
I'm glad there's no film.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, I mean, it's
we remember it.
It's just, you're the only two who need to know.
Exactly.
Today's kids, hey, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to go dump my boyfriend. Get it on Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Everything needs to be documented nowadays.
I'm going to go ruin his life.
All right, now let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, my marriage did not last, okay? We were boyfriend, girlfriend. We were engaged, and then we went to Chicago. I stayed engaged for probably an extra year and a half than I should have. I guess if the clock was to have sped up, I should have got married a lot sooner. The years of engagement were the best years of the relationship.
Oh, interesting. So we were thinking about doing this quickly.
Oh, all right.
So I'm
well, in
thinking
that case, don't let me turn you off.
Before football season or right after football season. I'm not going to screw all my friends by having a, November 13th wedding or something.
Yeah, there's still that little niche of engagement compared to marriage where you could still, hey, honey, I'm playing golf tomorrow.
Yes.
Not, hey, honey, can I play golf tomorrow? To me, that's the biggest difference between marriage and boyfriend-girlfriend.
Asking permission.
Right. The I'm doing to the can I becomes, that's when the ring goes on, that becomes 100% official.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah. Well, no. Hey, listen, I'm happy for you. I couldn't be any happier.
Thank you.
So, big news while I was gone. Anything else happened while I spent a week away?
I cut my hair.
Yeah?
But that was it.
I like that. What was the reason for the haircut?
It's just getting hot. I was so over it, man. I'm just tired of it. It's time to get the mullet off my head.
All right. You had a little time off because Hack moved up a couple hours, right? So you got the evenings off?
It was great, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed your vacation just as much as you did, probably.
Well, I never take time during football, so I mean, they're like, Ballou, you need to take like 4 or 5 weeks a year. Just get out of here.
This was the best. There was nothing happening in the sports world. And you got back today, and it's like the number one pick gets arrested. It's like perfect timing.
Number one pick arrested. This, we talked about Joe Valachi and the Valachi papers. Perhaps the most important documents since were released today with the National Football League Players Association report card on all 32 teams. Just damaging on the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I have a couple of comments on that. Number one, it's a very old building, so if there's a rat problem, I mean, who really should be surprised? I can give you some stories that'll make a goat puke if you were to hear the way that the Boston Garden once was, or Fenway Park or Wrigley Field were, or the old Orange Bowl. I mean, rats in a facility are common. The family scenario got to me a little bit, and I do want to come back and speak on that, but I do believe there's one thing that you have to consider before we even look at this poll. All right? 1,300 players were surveyed. I believe that when you're around a losing product, that affects the way that you are going to approach a survey. And I did see where this year's 2 Super Bowl participants, where they ranked. And it's not like they were top 5. As a matter of fact, Kansas City in a lot of categories was very low. As you would expect, that's an old stadium at Arrowhead. But this poll took place, or this survey actually did take place a year ago. Okay, and the part with families, which is really damaging, was pre-Doug Peterson. It was pre this new operation that is ongoing. And I just think the whole lingering effect of that being during the Urban Meyer regime and everything that went sideways with this football team, I'm honestly not surprised by it. Anyway, if you think that that's lip service, I'll remind you that I'm no longer getting paid from the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is not. It is, as always, it is the truth. But I just wouldn't make that big deal about it, all right? Once the Miller Electric practice facility comes into fruition before training camp this year, and when they continuously add, we all know that that is a broken down facility. And it needs to be fixed. It needs a major facelift. And no one is going to attract more attention than getting it straight from the players. And in this case, the National Football League Players Association, what they came forward with, boy, they're showing a lot of power. Because these players are so pampered, right? They're so babied that they're going to whine. You know, I traveled charter with those guys forever, and they got a good grade on travel. And I'm happy to hear about that because I know all the guys very well in logistics and all of the people that are involved behind the scenes with the Jaguars. And let me tell you something. They're all a bunch of really good guys, and they work very hard. But you're trying to appeal and trying to please the pampered, okay? The one in a million. And that's the way the professional football players are. They want everything, and they want it right in front of them, and they want it fast. That's league-wide. It's not only in the NFL. It's everywhere. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a lot to compare that to. The only team I've ever traveled with any consistency was the Jaguars. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, good. We'll spend a couple of minutes on that on the other side. Then I want to get to Trent Baalke after his comments yesterday. Man, it's unbelievable to look at how his entire reputation has changed in a year, not only in Jacksonville, but perhaps more importantly around the NFL, where some of his colleagues and others, even though they're saying it, as an anonymous quote, it's pretty impactful what this man has done. And, of course, restructuring contracts has told us once again, there is no such thing as the salary cap, okay? You can find ways to create more cash. And the biggest message that was sent to us yesterday by Trent Baalke, this team is building themselves to win this year, okay? Forget about 2024 and 2025. No, they're going for it this year. And you have to love that. It's March 1st. And you're a Jags fan. You got to be like, Roy Robertson Harris restructuring these deals. They're going to try to win it this year. And for as long as you've waited, as patient as you have been, I just love it for you. So we got a lot to do over the next couple of hours. As always, our opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Shmunez Vision, no matter where you go and what you do, it's amazing that so many of us forget about our eyes and care about every other part of our body and see doctors for this and see doctors for that. But we often neglect our eyes. A few weeks ago, I slept in my contacts, which was just absolutely a boneheaded move by yours truly. I was thinking, what if I had done that in Costa Rica? What if I woke up the way I did a few weeks ago and I could barely see out of my right eye? I had to call Dr. Shmunez, who said, get in here immediately. He gave me some drops, and it went away in like 2 days. Well, what if that happened? I mean, it was bad enough to deal with food poisoning. What if I couldn't see out of my right eye? It's only a little part of what they do over there, okay? You're talking about Dr. Catherine Shmunez, fellowship trained in cornea, cataract surgery, or refractive surgery. Combined, that's more than 30 years in laser eye surgery. Imagine going through life never having to worry about contacts or glasses or readers again because you have laser eye surgery. It's unbelievable what they do, and they are a family organization down at the beach. Set up an appointment today. Their number is 299-2906 or go to shmunezvision.com.
The Players is coming.
It's huge for all of us.
If you can't make it to the Players, let 1010XL bring the Players to you with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard updates.
And that's a beauty.
Brought to you by J. David Tax Law, Taco Lou, and Renewal by Anderson.
The Players Championship is back March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Experience our gold standard as the PGA Tour's best players take on the iconic Island Green. Bring your friends and family to enjoy bites from your favorite local restaurants and purchase the latest championship gear in the expanded fan shop. Plus, don't miss country singer-songwriter Riley Green performing live at Military Appreciation Day on Tuesday, March 7th. Purchase tickets at theplayers.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
This month, Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet wants to show all our customers just how much we love them. How can we prove our love? Well, how about purchasing with a peace of mind? Every new vehicle comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, and every certified pre-owned comes with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus, this month only, every lady who purchases a vehicle will receive a free $500 gas card. Free gallons for Valentine's Day? I love it. This month, love yourself and love your car. Head to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
All right, Ballou here, checking in with words of wisdom to be applied in life in your business from the business attorneys at Jimerson Borough. Let's go to Nelson Mandela. He once said, and I do quote, I never lose. I either win or learn. End of quote. Thank you to Nelson Mandela. All right, Jimerson Borough. They are hiring right now. They're a growing law firm. They're your one-stop shop for business lawyers, and that includes paralegal. Okay, if you're looking for a change, why would you consider anywhere else? Just go to their careers page, jimersonfirm.com. Top of the market compensation. It's an award-winning culture, and they have been considered year after year, right here in Duval for nearly a decade, as one of the best places to work. Once again, business lawyers, paralegal, go to jimersonfirm.com and look for the careers page.
ITB Partners, the official financial firm for the station to beat inflation.
Whoa, Dan. People don't want to joke about their money, not during these tough times.
You mean they'd rather hear about how ITB Partners takes our money and makes us more money?
Now you're talking. They make financial planning simple and easy to understand, even for a couple of slappies like us.
Those guys have been serving Hickets for 3 generations. Junebug, me. I even got my son Juju being smart with his money in his 20s.
It's never too early to talk with Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Brian Wright, Reagan Wright, Jeff Hartman, and Craig Ross.
Financial questions, ideas, or thoughts, email chris@itbpartners.com.
High Flying Jacko here, sports fans, and believe it or not, Woody's Barbecue's name, image, and likeness value is zooming. Woody's Barbecue has the fallingest off-the-bone ribs and chicken, the moistiest turkey and pork, and the bestest French fries and vegetables. In fact, Woody's has been doing it for over 41 years. For lunch or dinner, the name is Woody's Barbecue.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat.
This is Hacker. Join me for the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Hun, the drain really smells.
Yeah, wow, it does.
I think it's getting backed up. What should we do? Did you just quack like a duck?
Yes, I did.
Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. Need help with a plumbing issue at your home or business? Just call the Duck.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
The Tom Coughlin J Fun Wine Tasting Gala is coming up on Thursday, March 2nd. Join Coach Coughlin on the scenic downtown riverfront for culinary delights from some of Jacksonville's best restaurants and hundreds of the world's most renowned wines. Have a fun night out and be there to help provide financial and emotional support for local families who are tackling childhood cancer. To buy tickets, go to tcjfund.org/wine.
David Garrard here. Once again, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has eased my knee pain with PRP treatment. PRP is a platelet-rich plasma concentrate that promotes tissue repair naturally. If you are dealing with pain or an injury, ask your doctor, a Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, about PRP to determine if it's right for you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
If it's time to upgrade your old fireplace, then trust in CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit their local showroom and experience the warmth of a Dimplex electric fireplace. For the experts in indoor and outdoor living, visit CSSfireplaces.com.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Jacksonville. This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, with you tonight till 8, rest of the week till 8 o'clock as well. I'll have some live reports beginning tomorrow from Indianapolis once the players begin to work out. It is, again, very comforting to look at what the Jaguars are a part of and where they stand. Really no mystery this year. They're in a scenario where they legitimately can draft the best possible player who is there for them at number 24. Of course, there's a ton of rumors. I do miss being in Indianapolis, not necessarily for observing the workouts. And if you've never been, they don't allow you actually inside the dome. Okay, the only folks who are allowed inside the dome to watch these players go through their drills are the 32 teams, you know, the general managers, the scouts, the position coaches, head coaches. The media is somewhere else located within the RCA Dome, and they bring the players in, and you get an opportunity to interview them. But what I have always felt was most valuable was basically just opening up both your ears and listening. I mean, the media hotel, if it's at the same place, and I forget, we went there every year, it's where the Jaguars stayed as well. That media lounge, the gossip that is coming out of there and the rumors that are coming out of there is absolutely spectacular. And you never know where it's going to come. You never know what is going to be said, depending on how many drinks are actually flowing. And that is what I miss the most. I certainly don't miss the weather, and it's a grind. But we'll have reports because tomorrow will be day one of actual workouts. That'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, of course, next week we have the Players' Championship. So it just all runs together. And then after the Players, you know, on the 15th, that is when the league officially begins. That's when the NFL's league year starts at 4 o'clock on that 15th. And the 48 hours preceding that, the opportunity to, officially tamper and or, negotiate with contracts and for prospective free agents. And that is a massive change this year, okay? That is something that you as Jaguar fans have been very well accustomed to over the last several years, whether it's been Dave Caldwell or the first couple of years now with Trent Baalke, is how much money has been spent and where they have gone to bring in free agents. That's not going to happen this year. For the Jaguars, it's real simple. It's about trying to retain as many of the players on their roster as they can. And Trent Baalke yesterday, when he met with the media, said that. He went over it time and again. He also said something that has not been heard here in I don't even know how long, that all of a sudden the Jacksonville Jaguars have become a place that players around the NFL want to come in and play. And that is what you want. And Baalke deserves a ton of credit here. He does. And I was as hard on Trent Baalke as anyone. And I'm not trying to dismiss that. I'm not trying to turn the other cheek towards that. And again, it's not like the final grade is in. As far as I'm concerned, the final grade is winning a Super Bowl. Okay? And you have the quarterback. You now have a coach. Trent Baalke right now deserves the credit he is getting, the love he is getting, and I never thought it would happen. Okay, I remember sitting here talking about what does he know that we don't know? Why is he moving James Robinson? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Obviously, he has a deal with Shad Khan where Shad Khan has told him, regardless of how many wins this year, you're not going anywhere. Build it. Well, maybe it's time to give Shad Khan a little bit more credit when it came to Trent Baalke because the whole city was like, move along from this guy. and you track what he did in free agency, you track what he did in the NFL draft, and it was a really good year. As a matter of fact, let's hear from Bulky real quick here on, let's play number 3 on, where this football team is as far as the core and trying to keep all of these players right now here in Duval.
Well, again, we're trying to keep the core together. And the core is not just frontline players. It's guys at every level of the 53. Every guy on that team's, when you're talking about 53 players, every one of those players is important. And CJ and Jermichael are 2 guys that are key guys in that locker room. They're key contributors, not only on the field, but in the community, within the leadership of the team. So there's a lot of things that go into that, but we're glad that they're aboard for another 2 years and looking forward. We've got a lot more work to do, as you know.
Jermichael Hasty would have become a restricted free agent on the 15th. They redo a deal with him. Of course, C.J. Beathard, a 2-year contract. He would have become an unrestricted free agent in 2 weeks. I think that this move is enormous to try to keep that entire room together. We know that they did lose Jim Bob Cooter, who will now call plays in Indianapolis. However, Jacksonville did go out and make a move. They brought in Nick Holtz, who, has done a lot of nice things in both the NFL and in college. He will take over now as the passing game coordinator. But, you have Doug Peterson, you have Mike McCoy, you have Press Taylor, you have C.J. Beathard, you add Nick Holtz. Do you realize that out of the 32 teams, JJ, there are 16 new offensive coordinators this year in the NFL?
I didn't.
16 of 32. Now, not all of them are going to call plays. The majority are. But that's the league we're in. We always talk about head coaches, right? 5 changes this year, 10 changes the year prior, 8 changes the year prior to that. 16 different offensive coordinators. So I like what Jacksonville has done. Obviously, they also did keep, after losing Chris Jackson as a wide receiver, coach Chad Hall comes aboard, and Doug Peterson actually did coach him years ago back in Philadelphia. So a little bit more on Trent Baalke, including the latest and another promising comment about Evan Ingram. Basically from the horse's mouth, Evan Ingram's going to be here one way or another. Whether you slap a franchise tag on him at $11,345,000 or you can come up with a long-term deal, he's not going anywhere. Juwan Taylor, well, we need more time to discuss that because there is some rumblings on his future, and certainly that is going to be a major talking point. We'll get there in just a couple of minutes. Let's get to this ranking. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've been locked in at the office all day, and because it was a late report. I don't think it came out until like 4 o'clock or so this afternoon. But what did occur is, for the first time that I'm aware of, the NFLPA, again, flexing their muscles, trying to create a little bit more muscle for them throughout the National Football League, did conduct a survey of more than 1,300 NFL players. Now, we don't know if these are starters. We don't know if they are reserves. We don't know if they're practice squad guys. Regardless, they were all a part of this survey. We don't know if 10 players from the Jaguars were involved, 2 from the Jaguars were involved, or 50 from the Jaguars were. Again, we don't know. And maybe we will get some more data, if you will. Right now, we don't have it. But they rank things in several categories. Here goes. Number 1, treatment of families for the Jacksonville Jaguars. An F. They failed. Okay, tied for 29th in the league. Some of the comments was, let's see here. 14. The Jaguars are one of 14 in the NFL that doesn't have a family room. Okay. One of 11 in the NFL that does not offer daycare in the stadium. Wives of players have breastfed on the floor in a public restroom. Okay? Incredibly damaging. I guess. I mean, is a guy not going to come here because of that? No, probably not. It sounds to me like it's a little bit overbearing, and let's be honest, it's an old building. The Miller Electric practice facility is going in. The facelift is going to go. You're going to have all these people complaining about tax money here and tax money there, and Shad Khan invest all the money, and that's all coming. And by the way, if you win, that's a lot easier to sell than if you're not winning.
Can I ask a very ignorant man question?
Yes.
Where do women usually breastfeed? Like, isn't it usually in the women's room?
I have no idea.
Okay. I figured you wouldn't either.
And
I'm not trying to make a point at all. I don't know.
Hey, brother, I'm there to watch the game. You know what I mean? Okay, there's only 17 of those bad boys a year. And I don't know.
Yes. You do not have your nipple out during the game. Thank God for that.
Food service and nutrition, a D. Tied for 22nd in the league. Weight room, a D+, tied for 29th.
That sucks.
That's a surprise. I know they brought some of that stuff outside. I didn't know if that was by design to soak in the humidity and make it that much hotter. But, I've been at every NFL stadium, okay, as the former Jaguars sideline reporter. I haven't been in weight rooms, so I can't compare. I've seen the Jaguars weight room. For someone like me, it looks absolutely fantastic. But, again, I don't know how to compare that to the other, what would it be, 29, because they share a stadium in L.A. and they share a stadium in Los Angeles. Strength coaches, A-. I like that. I'm happy to see that. Tied for 17.
Is it the same guy, though?
Well, there's 3 of them.
Okay.
3 lead guys.
So they're all still there from when this was taken.
Milo moved on. I'm not sure where Milo went. And they had that knucklehead from Columbus a year ago. Remember that guy? He would run around in 1990s bike coaches.
Classic strength coach outfit.
Yeah. I think he was a talk show host in Columbus. I honestly do, if you Google him. I think Urban went out and he was on the mic. And Urban's like, hey, how would you have to come down here and trade my guys in South Florida? I'll give how much you're making a year doing radio? You're making $10,000 a year doing radio? I'll tell you what, let's put a 0 on that. You're now making 6 digits. Come on down here, Jacksonville. Yeah. Strength. Conditioning. Yeah, run it for us.
He also tried to hire the guy from Iowa. Who can
That's
forget
right. That's right. He was after the Iowa guy.
Yes.
the Iowa racist. Yeah, that
allegedly.
He couldn't get the Iowa racist, so he hired a talk show host from Columbus. Crying out loud. And despite that, they still got a passing grade. Actually, they got a really good grade, an A-. So, interesting. Training room, D-. Know very little about that. Training staff, and I'm very happy to see this because I got to really know all of those men and women from the years that I spent on the field, and I know how hard they worked, and they got a solid A. So that's very encouraging. Locker room, a D-. Boy, I mean, I'm sorry. That's petty. That's arrogance. That locker room is beautiful. Okay? It's now I understand that there are others that are so ridiculously supreme. And maybe I got to get my head out of the fact that I remember what the locker room looked like in 95, 96, and 97 and what that locker room looks like now. And, as a Jaguar, I never went to other locker rooms. I never went to the visiting locker room to try to do interviews after games when I was on the road or even here at home. I would always stay with the Jags, so I unfortunately cannot compare that. Now, I've seen every visiting locker room. It's a cubbyhole in Buffalo. It's a cubbyhole at Arrowhead in Kansas City. There's no room to move. Now, all right, Jerry's World, the new one in L.A., Minnesota, right there in Minneapolis. There's a couple that stick out, even the roadies, that are like, whoa. That's pretty impressive, but anyway, 28th in the league.
Why should you care about that one as much? I mean, I understand it's just embarrassing if you have a totally terrible away locker room, but it's not like a player would come or not come because of a locker room he won't use anyways.
For the reason I mentioned at the top, these players are incredibly pampered. The last category is travel. They got a B, tied for 15th. Let me tell you how this works. You'd be absolutely, because I just got back from Costa Rica at 1:30 a.m. this morning after a 3.5-hour layover. By the way, I was feeling better that the Admirals Club will never be the same in Miami after my performance last night. But all right, you talk about being pampered. This is how the Jaguars travel, because I did it with them for 8 years, and I also did it with them for about a year and a half, because I did it halfway through the year in '97 back when I was at the Ball on the Tom Coughlin flights, which was so different compared to today's flights.
How so?
Let me
like
just
more discipline, like less talking, like.
Let me give it to you in one word: medication. If I told you the way it used to be,
everybody's on
in the
Valium.
mid to late 90s, no. But how different it was out in the open compared to now.
Okay,
I'm not going to say anything else because it's just not worth it. But
we've learned a lot about painkillers over the last 20 years.
Oh,
so much.
Oh,
it's not jelly beans.
It is not, and it was. A totally, if any former players are listening right now, I mean, it was a totally different world all over the place. I imagine
Every
it was the
sport,
same,
especially in the NFL.
I imagine it was that way in college. I don't even know. Okay, but so these guys are going to complain about travel. I won't mention a name, but I think I said this a few weeks ago before I went away, that we were talking about, 2.5 week. Boston Bruins has got a massive road trip, West Coast. Then they went through Canada. They'll be back home tomorrow night to take on Buffalo at home. But whether it's the NBA or MLB or the NBA, these guys go on the road sometimes for 2 or 3 weeks. I do believe that there was a time in the early 90s, the mid-90s, that the Jags had like 3 straight on the road. And I remember a prominent player, really complaining about it. And that was back when I wasn't afraid to counter, if you want. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. You guys are gone for 24 hours, and you're back. It's not like you're going away you literally leave on Saturday afternoon, you're back on Sunday night, and, still we're away from our families. I'm like, you're gone for a day, bro. You're gone for 1 day.
Baseball players are gone for a month.
I mean, so anyway, this is the way we would meet at the stadium at noon, take buses, police escort to the tarmac, where you go through security, okay? You get on the plane. There's food all over the place. You take off. You land. You come back out on the tarmac. There are buses waiting for you. You get a police escort to one of the top hotels in the city. You walk into the hotel. They have everything designed where it's players, coaches, and staff. Within 10 minutes, you are in the hotel room, upstairs, into your room. You don't check in. You don't deal with it. No, it's all right there. After the game, you do interviews. You shower. Same deal. You leave. Tons of food for you to take. Back into the bus. The bus will give you a police escort when all the knuckleheads are trying to drive home or still partying after the game.
Stuck in traffic.
They will take you on a police escort straight to the tarmac, put you in the plane, fly you home, buses waiting for you back here in Jacksonville, bus you back to the stadium, you get in your vehicle. Let me tell you something, brother. You go to a place like Baltimore, you go to a place like Cincinnati or Nashville, you're home at 9 o'clock at night. After
you get done playing at 4.
I mean, you have no idea the preferential treatment that these players, and they deserve it. But here's my point. The more you give, the more complaints you're going to get. So I think that's an answer to your question with some of these categories. Really happy, again, to see the travel team get a B here. Those folks involved with logistics with the Jaguars do outstanding work. They do. And it'd be very easy for me to take a shot or two since I no longer work there, right? I mean, what do I have to lose? It's not the case. They're good people, great staff, hard workers. The problem right now is the facility. Okay? I guess the weight room, that situation with families, I imagine right now, all of a sudden you got some people who make some pretty big money that are, how are we going to figure this thing out? But again, the Miller Electric practice facility is coming in a couple of months. After that, get the damn thing passed. Build the stadium up. Facelift it. Okay? Make it like Miami did. That's what you have to do. That old Miami stadium was falling apart. And look at it now. They have like a disco. They have like a gentleman's club disco club in Miami.
I haven't been to that, but I've been to the stadium multiple times.
Let me see if I can find the video on my phone. We got to take a break here.
But they do have a roof, which is badass.
Well, you have to go through this room in order to get to the visiting radio broadcast booth.
Oh, I see.
I'm not even lying to you. Last year, when we went there, I think it was a Nick Foles preseason game. There were women swinging on poles, okay? And this is
you and Frangie are walking through it.
Oh, Frank was like totally into it. I was like, oh my God, what is this place? I've never seen anything like this before in my life. What do you call this place? And someone's just like, we call it a home game in Miami.
There's a certain romance to radio play-by-play.
We need you to be all strong and hot.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
The saga continues worldwide. The legends of hip-hop and icons of New York, Wu-Tang Clan and Nas present New York State of Mind Tour 2023. Wu-Tang Clan and Nas live in concert in Jacksonville. Daly's Place, Saturday, September 23rd. Wu-Tang Clan and Nas. Get tickets this Friday at 9 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Roland, 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 we're all calling Roland, the toilet's overflowing, oh my.
When hairballs, grease, and goo just won't let that water through, you need Roland Reach Plumbing by your side. When you have got a leak and you just can't wait a week, call 260-7059. Roland Reach Plumbing.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is teaming up with the NFL to inspire change. From now to draft day, Big Brothers Big Sisters is following the NFL draft, aiming to recruit potential bigs. Hi, I'm Brent from the 1010 sales team. I'm committed as a mentor, and we need you to step up and become a mentor too. There's a waiting list of more than 50 children hoping for a mentor. It's just a few hours a month. Be a mentor. Become a big. Visit bbsnefl.org. Be a mentor or visit Big Brothers Big Sisters and click on Big Draft.
Hey folks, Hickett here for Zero Res. If you're like me, you're getting the itch to de-junk and do some major spring cleaning. The problem is most of us hate throwing things away. I just close my eyes and let the wife do it. Next though, we'll have the Zero Res truck clean the carpets, the sofa, and deep clean the tile and grout. What a great time to get all the floors cleaned, and right now you get 20% off tile and grout deep cleaning. 20% off tile and grout. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 1st, 1970, Boston's Bobby Orr becomes the first defenseman in NHL history to score 25 goals in a season during a 3-1 win.
Monahan Jewelers is Jacksonville's source for fine jewelry and certified diamonds for 45 years. Have confidence knowing that you're buying the highest quality diamond at the best price. Monahan's has the inventory of several jewelry stores in one location with unbelievable prices. Diamonds, gemstones, and gold jewelry for every budget. At Monahan Jewelers, expect a huge inventory, great prices, expert jewelry repair, and fantastic service. Visit us at MonahanJewelry.com or call 246-GOLD for Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Instant Keys specializes in replacement of lost, stolen, or broken keys and remotes. Serving the First Coast for over 20 years, Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including most luxury models. So don't be intimidated by today's high-tech automotive keys. At Instant Keys, you get dealership-level service at a fraction of the time and cost without the dealership hassle. For honest, professional locksmith service, call Instant Keys today, 722-1111.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Jacksonville has some junk, and J-Dog is removing it. They're here to do the dirty work. You don't want to remove and dispose of large furniture or appliances yourself? Call J-Dog. Here now proudly serving you, removing junk from your home or business. They can even handle small demolition projects, and they're still donating local items to veterans in need. So let J-Dog do the dirty work for you. J-Dog Junk Removal. Veteran-owned and operated. JDog.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
A bottle of white, a bottle of red, perhaps a bottle of rosé instead.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, big event coming up in just a couple of days. It'll be right here in Jacksonville on March 10th. It's going to be the Lords of 52nd Street. All the great Billy Joel music over the decades will be performed out at the Florida Theater. And in just one moment, we're going to talk to the original drummer. Spent more than 30 years with Billy Joel. I'm going to have a conversation here coming up with Liberty DeVito. So, Brooklyn raised, got his start out in Jersey, like a lot of other rockers, and put it all together. Now, Billy Joel to me, pretty interesting because he was a great singer-songwriter, but he kind of drifted off into some pop, some hits. Some of that stuff got, in my opinion, a little bit corny. But his earlier stuff, like right there, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, was just incredible, man. I mean, not necessarily sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but actually going out and telling some stories. So Billy Joel, certainly one of the greats of our lifetime. They are going to play all of the music, and I guess 3 members from his band, among others, do form up Lords of 52nd Street. I've never seen them. I don't. I hadn't heard much about him until I knew I was going to get an opportunity to talk with Liberty DeVito, but he's going to be joining us here coming up in just a couple of minutes. All right, I'm being told now, some folks think that I'm getting it from a couple of different sources, all right here in Jacksonville, that they think it's the water that I drank and not necessarily the food. Right, ice or water. Now, most of the water that I drank was bottled water. But there were times where I was drinking tap water or the water that they were pouring. I was also drinking frozen drinks, and they use ice cubes to make those. They call them, I think, drunken monkeys out there. It's kind of the version of the bushwhacker that is here, okay? The bushwhacker that I want to say was invented out in Pensacola, maybe, or somewhere, Alabama, Pensacola, somewhere out there. In that part of the country, and whenever I go to Key West, it's one of those cocktails you can only drink, I don't know, maybe once a month. You know what I mean?
Is it rum?
Yeah, four different types of rum.
Ooh,
yeah, and it is absolutely spectacular. Okay, but maybe that was how I did it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure all of that. This guy goes, yo, dude, he's married to a supermodel. Don't be jealous. I don't think he is anymore. Oh, that's right. He is. I did read about Liberty DeVito. He is. Absolutely, he is. I think he has been twice. And, of course, I'm jealous. I'm jealous because the guy plays drums. I'm jealous because the guy knows how to do things that I wish that I could do. I can imagine what it's like to try to write, whether it's a book or a song. I mean, I could sit here and talk for hours upon hours upon hours, but try to write and get it pen to paper and then write the music to go along with it, or perhaps write the music first and then add the lyrics. I don't even know. You know, all these artists I've talked with say they do it differently depending on, their mood or what the particular scenario may be. It's fantasy. It really is. It's fascinating to me, and it's a treat, no doubt about it.
Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line, brought to you by the accident attorneys at Farah and Farah.
All right, they're rolling into town. It'll be soon, March 10th. It'll be at the Florida Theater. It is the Lords of 52nd Street. One of the original members who spent more than 30 years with Billy Joel on drums is Liberty DeVito, and he joins Rick Ballou. Liberty, I appreciate a few moments. How are you?
I'm good. I heard you talking about writing songs.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, please. It's my favorite. It doesn't matter who the songwriter is, singer-songwriter is. To me, it's the most amazing part of trying to put the music together, how you come up with the lyrics.
Okay. Billy Joel told me when I asked him, how do you do that? And he said to me, I write about how life is for me or how I wish it was. The hard part is to make the melody, to do the melody. That's the hard part.
Yeah. Susan Tedeschi, a very popular band here out of Jacksonville, the Tedeschi Trucks Band, she says that there are times where she'll actually dream about this and get up and write about it, bedside. What have you found is the most difficult part? Is it the actual lyrics of the songwriting? Is it the music? Do you do one first or the other? Or does it depend on, really any given scenario?
Well, being with Billy for 30 years and 11 albums later, I watch him do it, and he comes up with the music first. He kind of hums what the lyrics will eventually be. And if we weren't on radio, I would tell you some lyrics that I screwed up for him. But
yeah.
But it's the melody that comes first, and he's done such a great job. It's amazing what he's done.
Right. Now, you guys knew each other at such a tender age. You were 16, he was 17. You were in New Jersey. You both were involved in different bands, and he went to L.A., came back. You two got together again, and you played there for 30 years. But, man, what an amazing beginning to that story.
Yeah, we were in the same club. And he was in a band called the Hassles. I was in a band called the New Rock Workshop, and we used to pass each other in the darkness of the club and say hi. How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I was into listening to this group called Traffic. I love them. Steve Winwood was in Traffic.
Sure.
And one night I was listening to the Hassles, and Billy sang "Colored Rain," and I thought, oh man, this guy's good. He likes the same music I like, and he's singing one of my favorite tunes. So it was at that point I thought, this guy's really good.
Yeah. All right, so you love Traffic, so you love classic rock like I do. How did this all come together? Because, it's not like he had just one genre. He attracted those like me who love classic rock, great singer-songwriter, that there were love songs, there were pop hits. What was that like to be with an artist that could hit so many different categories?
Well, it was very interesting because he loved all kinds of music too. I mean, it's obvious that on the Turnstiles album, "Say Goodbye to Hollywood," is a tip of the hat to Ronnie Spector.
Mm-hmm.
And then on "Innocent Man," that whole album is a tip to those groups that we listened to when we were growing up, when we were very young. And then, "Nylon Curtain" is definitely a tip of the hat to the Beatles. With the song "Laura" and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have another band in mind when you're doing things. You just put your own signature on it.
Yeah. We are talking with Liberty DeVito. He will be in town with his band. That's coming up on March 10th at the Florida Theater. It's called the Lords of 52nd Street. Again, that'll be at the Florida Theater. Tickets are on sale. Just go to floridatheater.com. All right, so you and a couple of other original members are part of your band, along with some others as well. Tell us about the show. Tell us what it's all about.
Well, the other guys in the band, Richie Canada, who played, the saxophone on Scene Through the Time Restaurant, Only the Good Die Young, Still Rock and Roll and Me, all that kind of stuff. And Russell Javers, who was with Billy up until the Bridge album. So it's the original Billy Joel band that started out with Billy on Turnstiles.
Mm-hmm.
That's the three guys from that band. Because we lost Doug Stegmeyer, he was the bass player that was involved with us. When the band was just me, Billy, Richie, Russell, and Doug. And so you get three of us. We got a guy named Dan Orlando who does the Billy part, plays piano and sings. People have said that we sound more like the record than Billy does because we do the songs in the original key of the record, where Billy has dropped the keys already, like a whole step and such. So you're going to get where the energy from those songs came from. That you get the guys that really made those songs into rock songs and put the power behind them.
Yeah. Back to lyrics again, because I know you were involved in writing songs along with Billy Joel. How does that conversation go? Do you bring something to Billy? Do you show him what you have? Does he ask you to go in any particular direction? Again, this is the one part of it all that amazes me more than any.
Well, the thing that would happen would he would call me up, and let's say there's a song on the Bridge album called "Getting Closer," and he would call me up, and his original idea was a song called "That Ain't You," man, and it's him observing his own funeral, and I would tell him, that stinks. and he would say, I knew you were going to say that. And back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Or the song Stormfront. He would call me up and he'd tell me the first lyrics to the song, about his boat and, he's ready to leave the dock and everything like that. And I would say I don't know how many people are going to be interested in your boat. What if the song was about the boat was actually a woman you were talking about? Second verse goes, I got a woman, life should be easy,
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's the way we work.
And that's incredible because I mean, again, the artistic indifferences that you mentioned the Beatles. I mean, at the end, they couldn't be with one another. Pink Floyd, you just go on and on. They get so sick of one another because they believe in different things. I have to imagine that at times that got tough over 30 years.
Oh, you're with people in your band more than you are with your wife. If you're married, your girlfriend, your children, everything. You're with these people 24 hours a day. I was in a documentary called The Hired Gun, and I think Rob Zombie said it the best when you're in there. He goes, you can get 1,000 people. If you lose a band member, say a guitar player, there's 1,000 guys that could probably play just like him. Mm-hmm. But then when you talk about somebody that looks good on stage, you cut it down to 100 guys. Then you want somebody that moves and is cool. Hey, you got 10 guys. Then you need to have somebody you can get along with on the bus for 24 hours. Maybe there's one guy in those 1,000 guys that you can get along with that well.
Yeah.
It's like a marriage, except you're married to 5, 6 guys, however many guys are in the band.
Yep. I just finished a Neil Young autobiography, and I read one on Duane Allman as well. Of course, has some ties here to or many ties here to Jacksonville. And he said his best writing would come when they'd leave him alone, and he'd smoke a joint or two. I know that's been Billy Joel's kind of way to go over the last several years. Did you ever disturb him in the midst of that, and it went either good and or bad?
Well, there was times when we would be in the studio and he had an idea and the band was starting to develop the idea, and then he would sit and write the lyrics, and our producer Phil Ramone would tell us to get out of the studio and go into the control room because Billy should be alone now, but while he's finishing the words. Yeah, you know, it's funny too. I worked with Stevie Nicks for six months. That woman can't write unless she's depressed.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, your resume is unbelievable. Karen Carpenter, you know, Meatloaf, who just passed recently. The great Carly Simon. Man, just in touch with so many brilliant artists over the years, and I'm sure they're all different.
Hey, the Florida Theater, you know, the Lords have played there. This is the first night we're going to play where it's our show. There's nobody else playing with us. But we played there before with Three Dog Night and other bands. But I played there many years ago with a band that I was in called Big People. Mm-hmm. It was myself, Pat Travers, Derek St. Holmes from Nugent's band, Jeff Carlisi from 38 Special, and Ben Orr.
Wow.
And we played there at the Florida Theater. I remember it well because somebody had given one of the band members flowers. And so I was carrying these flowers out to our bus, and these two women were walking by. And I said, hey, you want some flowers? And I gave them these flowers. Years later, I'm at the Grammys, and look, I just forgot his name now. Bruce Hornsby is walking up the stairs. He's walking up the stairs, and I'm walking down the stairs. And he stops me, and he goes, hey, I know who you are. You gave my mother flowers.
Oh, really? Very, very, very cool. Outstanding. Hey, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this. I know Jacksonville as well. Liberty DeVito, you guys will be in town March 10th, Lords of 52nd Street, over at the Florida Theater, which is an incredible place to see a show. Really looking forward to it, and thank you so much for your time.
Can't wait.
There he goes, Liberty DeVito. How about that? 30 years with Billy Joel as a drummer. And he's worked with incredible artists. He and his band will be in town again. Coming up on March 10th, it's Lords of 52nd Street, and they will be at the Florida Theater.
Let's now welcome Jaguars legend and inaugural Pride of the Jaguars inductee, Tony Baselli.
1010XL.
Legends of the Billy Joel Band, the Lords of 52nd Street, performing the hits you know and love from Billy Joel.
Got a call from an old friend, we used to be real close.
Friday, March 10th at Florida Theater. Get tickets at floridatheater.com or call 355-ARTS.
Say goodbye to Hollywood.
The Lords of 52nd Street.
Say goodbye, my baby.
Friday, March 10th at Florida Theater.
At Batteries Plus, we power family road trips. We power bedtime stories. We power our local hospitals. We power connections with friends. We do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. How powerful is that? Visit Batteries Plus for free auto battery testing and free installation, too, at most locations. See batteriesplus.com for details.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville. Don't miss the Players' Championship March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Invite your friends and family to enjoy the ultimate fan experience, complete with bites from your favorite local restaurants and front row access to the PGA Tour's best players. While on site, be sure to visit the expanded PGA Tour fan shop to stock up on this year's championship gear. Secure your spot at the iconic stadium course today. Tickets and parking passes are on sale now at theplayers.com.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Frangie here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
Honda has done it again with their all-new 2023 lineup for SUVs. Passport, Pilot, HRV, CRV, and the popular CRV Hybrid. We have SUVs for any budget. Visit your local Honda dealer. We're dealing.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
WJXL FM, Jacksonville Beach.
David Garrard here. Once again, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has gotten me back to my active lifestyle by easing my knee pain with PRP treatment. PRP is a platelet-rich plasma concentrate that promotes tissue repair and healing and can even help alleviate pain caused from arthritis. Ask your doctor at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if PRP may be right for you too.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There's nothing like a good fish story.
You're never going to believe me, but it was this big.
On the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show with Captain Kevin Faber.
Thursday nights at 6.
Golly, that's a giant. On 1010XL AM.
If it's time to upgrade your old fireplace, then trust in CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Tour their local showroom and find the perfect heat and glow gas or electric fireplace. For the experts in indoor and outdoor living, visit cssfireplaces.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
A little break from sports. Why not? We love music around here. Lords of 52nd Street. Great name. Liberty DeVito. That'll be March 10th. Go ahead and check that out. Some pretty good concerts coming in town. The week of the Players' Championship. Man. Can you imagine writing a song? I mean, there's been several times over the last 30 years I've written on Florida State or the Jaguars, and I always thought it was, for the most part, I thought it sucked. Not much of a writer, but I was asked to do it, and I did it. But I wouldn't even know where to start, and I have some downtime. I have some thinking time alone in my bar, but I don't even know where to begin.
Like, do you start with what you want, like just the vague topic you want, or do you have a melody that you start with? Or I think it's different for every artist you've had on that we've asked. We get a different type of answer almost.
Well, it's why I always ask the question. Well, the main reason why I ask the question is I hate to say it this way, it's about making it about me, but it's because what I care about most, how do these artists write these lyrics, and where does the music come into play? Today we heard the melody came into play, not the music, a melody. So you're looking for a little something, whether it's just the chorus or what type of. I would have no idea where to begin. I think I'd have a better opportunity writing a movie. Okay?
Probably. That's probably easier. Like, dialogue of a scene. That seems a lot easier than a song.
If you asked me to write a movie, I bet I could write a movie. I absolutely bet I could. I don't know if it'd be any good. And over the years, I've thought about, I honestly have given it a lot of thought about writing this book. And I've bounced it off some people. I don't know if it would be attractive enough in a lot of circles, and I don't have nearly a big enough name where it would generate anything, outside of here, if that. But it involves years and years and years of relationships and a star football player and a girlfriend who's Christy Brinkley, supermodel-esque, and it takes you all the way through of with a mob and a bookie. And it's about fixing a game. I'm just going. So the story's kind of, in some circles, has been told before, but never this way. I don't know if it would work, but I think that I could at least attempt to write that book. Again, whether it be good or bad,
make it presentable.
Right now, if you say to me, write a song, I don't even
like. How did the Beatles are like? All right, I got a song about Rocky Raccoon. All right, we're going to write a song about...
Well, I'll tell you how they did it. They started experimenting with LSD.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
I mean, he just mentioned Stevie Nicks. That poor woman was always on the verge of a complete mental breakdown. I just finished the Mick Fleetwood book, the autobiography. And I told you, they were huge dopers. Cocaine. I mean, Mick Fleetwood says he snorted 6 miles of cocaine and spent $60 million on cocaine. Okay, those are his words in his book, not mine. But anyway, that would be, to me, the most important or most impressive part of it all. Finding a way to do that. 3057 says Rick and I was in Nashville playing music. Always before a show, I go outside the curtain and talk to the crowd. So I'm interacting with them. One of my favorite things to do is ask them how many of them ever wanted to be a songwriter. Well, most would raise their hand. And so I would tell them, okay, give me a subject that I will write you a song.
Wow.
We call it a hook as a songwriter, which would be something like I see the moon shining from that. I would start out with a verse and the band would pick up and join in.
What about writing comedy? Like, do you think you'd have a better shot at that, writing a joke? Okay.
Much better.
I agree, but I think that is a crazy difficult task, too.
Oh, yeah. And you talk about depressed individuals.
Yeah, all of them have some issues.
Comics.
Same as musicians.
Right? To me, that would be the hardest thing to do.
Right.
And maybe I'm just telling myself that it would be the hardest thing to do. Now, writing lyrics, I think, is I'm talking about the complete process
all
here.
Of it.
Okay? I mean, let's just give me an artist. Name one. And I'm responsible for coming up with the lyrics, but also the music to go along with it. Whether it's a band or an individual artist. To me, that is one of the most impressive things that you can do. And by the way, there's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of failed artists and folks who've tried and they haven't been able to get it done. But I don't know. That'll be impressive. We'll see. That show's coming up right around the corner. All right,
maybe we should ask Dan Hicken how to write a song.
Now, Dan's a true lyricist.
Yes.
Okay? I mean,
Bob Dylan, who?
Bob Dylan, Billy Joel, James Taylor, Dan Hicken. Yeah. I don't, we're getting a lot of people chiming in on this, though. Telling me about writing. Piano Man's my favorite. Actually, Piano Man, to me, I'll be honest with you, it's a beer song. Piano Song is one of the few songs that I can no longer listen to. There's probably 50 that I just can't do it anymore. Piano Man is one. American Pie is another.
By beer song, you mean at the concert, go up and get a beer.
Yeah, if they're playing Piano Man, I'm going to the lavatory and picking up a couple more Miller Lights. Where the rest of the crowd's going to go crazy.
Oh, yeah. They know
came for that
that's
song.
One of the few they know, yes.
Yeah, I've seen Bob Seger 3 times. When he plays old time rock and roll, that's everyone gets up and dances. I run for the. I can't stand that song anymore. Well, there's some songs it doesn't matter how many times I hear it, I still love it. But
oh, see, nobody gets overplayed on classic rock radio like Bob. Whoa, Seeger, I love Seeger too, but some of these. Can we just take like a 5-year break from playing some of these songs?
If you ever want, this is from the 2389, if you ever want to write a song, just jot down a bunch of what you think are great ideas while you're hammered, and then go back and fill in the details when you're sober. That's some Aaron. You know, this food poisoning I had also, I've told you before that when I legitimately get sick, mentally I get sick as well. Does that ever happen to you? When you're physically sick? What do you mean? When you're physically sick, mentally, you're going...
Like angry or...
No, like a repetitive thing that goes on in your mind. Like, I'll get like recurring. I get like the same situation again and again and again and again. You don't know if you're asleep. You don't know if you're awake. That certain flashback or memory.
Wow.
Bro, it happens to me all the time when I'm legitimately sick. Not booze sick.
Yeah.
Legitimately
flu
sick. Or whatever it may be. What happened to me in Costa Rica.
It's like hallucinating.
My GF's like, almost. And I thought of it and thought of it and thought of it, and I went to it all the time. I had this part of this food poisoning. You ever see Revenge of the Nerds?
I have. It's been a long time.
The burp off between Booger and Ogre? I would have put both of them to shame. Part of this food poisoning, I would be laying down and I would have to get up and sit on the edge of the bed. And let me tell you something, brother. When I burped, it went for 20 to 25 seconds. And that is not radio embellishment, man. It came from the toes up.
She loved that.
Oh.
What a turn on.
She just went down and under. She just went under it. She knew that heat. She's smart enough to know that heat rises. She just get. That's it. I'm down.
Whenever there's a fire, you know to get to the ground.
But it kept happening. And I was like, my mind, I kept thinking about something before and after. So the next day she's like, you were telling me about it last night. What were you dreaming about? And I'm like, I can't remember it now. I should have really written it down because it was really sounds like I was on Costa Rican dope. I wasn't.
Ayahuasca.
I was not at all. We gotta take a break though. We're way late.
The plot begins to thicken. Now, I can't be specific about the heroes and zeros.
Dan Hill, Jeff Prosser, Mike Debs, Fat Tony, Joe C, Hacker, Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, Frank French, Hayes Carlin, Lauren Brooks, Rick Ballou, 1010XL.
Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, and happy to report that Dandy has some brand new goodies, and they're only available at select Gate stores around town. 5 delicious new breakfast items to start your day off right. Fresh buttermilk biscuits, flaky croissants, French toast, maple waffles, all matched up with country sausage, ham, or bacon, fried eggs, and cheddar cheese. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so go out and make yours a dandy just a little bit earlier tomorrow.
Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you, yeah.
Adamak Harley-Davidson of St. Augustine invites you to Bike Week, March 3rd to the 12th. Enjoy live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday each weekend. The Harley-Davidson demo truck will be on location the 3rd through the 5th, where you'll be able to test ride the brand new 2023 models. Enjoy food, drinks, vendors, and more. Come on by to check out the huge selection of inventory and get special Bike Week financing. All at Adamak Harley-Davidson in St. Augustine. For more info on Bike Week events, visit AdamacHarley.com.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Daytona Supercross is more than the race that defines careers and the sound of revving engines echoing in your ears. It's more than the brutal competition on the gnarliest course that I've designed to date. It's your heart thumping from being closer to the action than you've ever been before. The atmosphere, under the lights. I'm Ricky Carmichael, and this is Daytona Supercross. Do you feel it?
You will. Saturday, March 4th at the World Center of Racing. Get tickets and trackside access at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
It's a Monday morning must.
What's that smell?
Tony Baselli, Dan Hicken, and Jeff Prosser.
You smell something?
Breakfast with Boselli.
Smells super.
Brought to you by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm. Monday morning on 1010XL.
Tom Coughlin Wine Tasting Gala is Thursday, March 2nd. Join Coach Coughlin on the scenic downtown riverfront for culinary delights from some of Jacksonville's best restaurants and hundreds of the world's most renowned wines. Tickets are available at tcjfund.org/wine.
Denny Thompson here. If you're like me, you want your TV room or man cave to look and sound amazing. Football blasting with multiple TVs. But you're probably not sure how to get there. Well, do like I did and call Tyson Sound and Security. Whether it's TV mounts, home theater systems, setting up the best surround sound, they'll hook you up and make you look like a pro, and it may not cost as much as you might think. Call today and have them assess your TV room or man cave. Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation expert.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting!
There's a world of difference between and that's why you can trust Famous Automotive and Tire when it comes to your vehicle's care. Because there's a difference between and. It all starts with the triangle of safety. Your tires, brakes, and the front end. Take care of those 3 points and your car will take good care of you. Start at Famous Automotive and Tires. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
Serving the First Coast for over 20 years, Instant Keys offers honest, professional locksmith service for the replacement of lost, stolen, or broken keys and remotes. Get dealer-level service at a fraction of the time and cost. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I was going to have a lesson tonight on restructuring contracts and telling you how the salary cap is really nothing more than language. But we'll save that for another night. That's not going anywhere, right? We got more important things to get into. First off, someone's whining. His name's Jalen Ramsey. What do you have for us, JJ?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of speculation about Jalen being traded, which
someone on this station,
we started that. Yeah,
someone on this station really upset some folks.
So if you don't remember, a few weeks ago, Rick put that out there, and y'all were not happy
say
about
idiot.
it. Yeah.
I did not say that.
Yes. So this is from Jalen Ramsey about 3 minutes ago. I'm not exactly sure what it all means, but I'll just read it. Don't speak for me or my agent, please. LOL. Y'all have fun with y'all's opinions. I'm cool with that. It's entertaining, really, but don't act like you are speaking facts about something only few know about. Things will get addressed when we feel like it, in parentheses, if we ever do. Laughing face. So I don't know if he's saying the rumors aren't true or if he's saying they are true. It's hard to tell.
Not making a lot of sense, right?
No.
They can polish their medals and sharpen their smiles and amuse themselves playing games for a while. Boom, boom, bang, bang, lie down. You're dead. You ever heard the Pink Floyd Fletcher Memorial Home?
No.
From the Final Cut? Let me give you a little bit of advice, young man, because you're soon to be married and your opportunity to select all your music is going to be limited. On the way home tonight.
Yes.
I know you want to listen to Hacker. I understand that. I love listening to Hacker. I was going to tell you to listen during a commercial break, but that's not the way to go about it because that pays salaries around here.
True.
Right? You listen to all these damn commercials.
I'll turn it down when you guys are talking and turn it up during the commercial
Let me
break.
tell you, there's some hosts here I like, there's some I don't necessarily like, but there's one thing I love, and that's the commercials.
So Pink Floyd.
At some point, you've got to go to the Final Cut, which is their last album, is The Foursome, until Roger Waters split.
I am not familiar with that album whatsoever. So
the Fletcher Memorial Home is on the plane. The GF finally showed me how to download everything so I could have nonstop music. I didn't see that movie too, Smile. You know that?
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, it was okay. It was.
What's it about?
I didn't love the star. She just didn't do it for me. And it was slightly predictable at the end. I'm not going to give it away because I think it's still out there now. I had been looking for it on like the 40 different movie channels that I have. 40 different, not movie channels. I have thousands of movie channels, but like movie sources that we have. And it was okay. It kind of ended the way I thought it would. You know, it's like that goofy smile. Like it's almost like a clown smile.
Creepy smile.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I watched that at one point, and outside of that, I was just listening to nonstop Floyd because I wanted to get fired up for Costa Rica. So I figured the best way to get fired up was Pink Floyd. And I stumbled upon the Fletcher Memorial Home again. I hadn't heard that song in a little bit. You'll love it. Really get an opportunity to hear it. All right, let me get to this real quick. We got to take a break here again coming up because we missed one last hour. But this story here now with Jalen Carter is very intriguing to me. You know, Todd McShay came out a couple of months ago and said that there was some dirt on him and there was some negativity on him. And McShay received a tremendous amount of backlash from Georgia fans and others as well. And I was a little surprised to hear about that with Todd McShay because that's never really been his way to attack things. He's not a guy that I think is trying
things
to
up.
Yeah, I mean that's Jason LaConfora type of stuff. That's not Todd McShay. Well, it finally came out today that he's been charged. It's a couple of misdemeanors. Apparently, he was racing the recruiting staff member and a former teammate that were both killed. Unfortunately, this was a few months ago. Today it came down. Today it did come out that Jalen Carter, who may be the top pick, okay, he's supposed to be absolutely a top 5 pick, could be the top pick. Reckless driving and racing. They're both misdemeanors. Now, to credit Jalen Carter, he was supposed to meet with teams today, meet with the media today. That was previously scheduled. He did not. He did release a statement in which he said he expects to be completely exonerated when all of the information does come into play. What I really find intriguing about this is as follows. Number one, for a moment, put yourself in that kid's shoes. He had to have been scared absolutely out of his mind. A teammate and a recruiting staff member are killed in a car accident.
Probably 2 friends.
Right. Killed. I mean, if he's racing with them and fooling around, they're absolutely friends. So he's scared snotless. Okay? After that, the McShay report comes out. Here's the only... For the point I'm trying to make here, I don't think this is going to affect an NFL team from drafting him. Okay? It was a mistake. 21-year-olds make mistakes. There's a ton of people out there listening, myself included, who when we were younger in life raced or were in a car when we raced with buddies. It's something that we've done, whether you want to admit it or not. You can all put it under the category of stupidity and immaturity, but it happened. Okay? What I think is the only drawback here, and Rick Spielman actually, I'm going to give credit here, I'm not going to steal it. Okay, Rick Spielman, a former general manager, his name was actually mentioned here a year ago when there was some talk that obviously Trent wasn't going to return. He made an interesting point that I think is one that is worth discussing. If he's already met with teams, if McShay knew about this, I have to believe that teams knew about this. You would, except for Dave Caldwell and misses with guys like C.J. Henderson and some stuff like that, which today I still can't figure out, the amount of money and effort that is put into researching these players, these prospects, their backgrounds, man, everything they've ever done. I've been asked many times, not necessarily about people that ever went here to Jacksonville, but it was more about when I was over in Tallahassee directly working with collegiate athletes from, it could have been any assorted team. All right. And just a simple check of this or a check of that, but it's exhaustive and they turn over every rock. The point that Spielman made, if Jalen Carter was asked by a team or a couple of teams or 3 teams, all right, we understand there's a story out or this or that, were you involved in it? He said, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir, it wasn't me. And then all of a sudden this story comes out a day later. You're going to look at this 21-year-old and say, he's a liar. So, again, kids lie. Grown men lie. Every day in sports, we're seeing lies. All right, we got the Alex Murdaugh trial going on. I mean, grown men lie. It's a part of life. Men lie, whether you want to believe it or not. So, you're talking about millions of dollars here. Do you invest your top pick now in a guy that you can make the point you do not trust because he lied to you? Or do you take it all and just slam it off the table and say, poor kid, involved in an awful incident, probably going to have an effect over the rest of his life, but here's what I know. He can play football. Let's bring him in. Let's take care of him, and we'll take our chances.
Fresh start.
I think he falls, but I don't think we all of a sudden the Jaguars are up at 24 and Jalen Carter's on the books.
I don't think this affects where he's drafted whatsoever. I think the NFL is a scumbag league filled with front office guys that are scumbags, filled with players that are scumbags. We don't care about that stuff. Unless he's charged with a felony and, he's not. It's a couple misdemeanors. I think it's appalling that he left the scene. I understand that, he's 21, whatever, but I would like to think that even at that age, if I saw 2 of my friends in that state, I wouldn't be worried about my DUI charge.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. There's certain NFL front office people that don't care about that. There's going to be teams that are trading up to get this guy if he falls. I don't think it affects him, man. I mean, his draft status, that is.
So he leaves, and he
comes back 2 hours later.
Criticized for that. What if he stayed and he got tested?
And he got a DUI.
Right.
Then I think that it might I don't know. I think that might affect it.
Well, you can, and the point I'm trying to make is you can argue either side. You can argue which is worse, bailing as he did and returning, or turning the keys off, stick them in your pocket, waiting for the officers to arrive, and just take it all at one time. I mean, there's. And again, these details are sketchy at this point.
A lack of empathy, to bounce like that. Like I said,
I agree with you, but I also think he was scared to death. You know what I mean? He was scared to death.
And he was drunk. I mean, obviously I'm making an assumption, but they leave a strip club after celebrating the national championship win at 3 a.m, driving through both lanes of traffic at speeds of excess of 100 miles an hour. Like, of course he was drinking. Of course he left because he didn't want to get a DUI.
But did they not?
He came back.
Did they not remember what happened with the Riggs situation just a year ago?
Last year. Ruggs, but yes.
Ruggs, I mean.
Last year just happened.
These kids think they're invincible. You know these 2 kids have the whole world in the palm of their hand.
The craziest part about the story is that, like, a day later, a linebacker or a defensive player, I forget, but he's supposed to be like an All-American this year, got in trouble for racing.
No.
A Georgia player, right at the day after one of his assistants and teammates died.
Yeah.
Like, no control in that program right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, 80s Miami sounding, like just Florida of the mid-2000s. Just like these great programs with just like dumbass kids and coaches that are just letting them run amok.
So I don't believe he was ever tested.
No, so he came.
So he can flat out deny that he had anything to drink.
Exactly. So he comes back to the scene. He is talked to by a police officer. The police officer says he doesn't have any reason to, think that he was drunk or whatever. But this is hours after. I mean, me and you, Rick, both know that if you sit out for a couple hours, you can make yourself seem pretty sober.
Yeah.
Clean yourself up a lot.
What a terrible story. 24-year-old Chandler LaCroix. They measured the blood alcohol level there, 1.97.
Twice the legal limit. So, like, if the driver of the other car is drinking, I'm just going to make a crazy assumption that the guy he's racing, that he was with in the strip club until 3 a.m., probably was as well. I'm also going to make the assumption that last year's number one pick, Trayvon Walker, who hit 2 parked cars in the middle of the night, was also drinking. And guess what? The Jags took him number one. Nobody cares. Like, that's my point. Nobody cares.
I don't even remember that. When did that happen?
Exactly. That story was, like, out right before the draft or right after the draft. Nobody cared about that.
He hit 2 parked cars?
In the middle of the night. And I guess his excuse was he was tired or he was just like...
Wait a minute. Am I getting that old? Or did I leave that part of my brain in Costa Rica? How
Dude,
did I forget that?
That's my point.
That
We
happened a
don't
year
care.
ago? I don't even remember it.
Exactly. Like, we just don't care about this. The front office doesn't. They still drafted him number one, and he's not even good. Like, of course this guy's going to get taken. He's awesome.
Shame on you to say that Trayvon's not any good.
He's not anywhere as close to the prospect that this guy is right now.
He's going to bounce back, man. Trayvon's going to bounce back. All right, we need to take our final one of the night. Hacker Nation will join you at 8.
Nobody covers the Players' Championship like 1010XL.
There's very little golf courses that test us as much as this one does.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates brought to you by Performance Painting, Universal Roof and Contracting, and Coastal Equipment.
The Players' Championship is back March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Experience our gold standard as the PGA Tour's best players take on the iconic Island Green. Bring your friends and family to enjoy bites from your favorite local restaurants and purchase the latest championship gear in the expanded fan shop. Plus, don't miss country singer-songwriter Riley Green performing live at Military Appreciation Day on Tuesday, March 7th. Purchase tickets at theplayers.com.
The next time you have an orthopedic injury, call Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. That's what we do. I'm Bob Arablo, president of Your Jacksonville Icemen. We've been using them to take care of our athletes, and you can rely on them to take care of yours.
This is Dr. George Acevedo of Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Thanks to all of the athletes who ask us to help them get back on their feet.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
Follow the rise of the young Jags and daily discussion about where they're headed.
We could be part of it.
Jaguars Today.
From the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
With Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and E.T. Every weekday from 10 to noon on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Honey, are you using the hot water?
No.
The water's cold again. How can we fix it? Did you just quack like a duck?
Yep. Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. For water heater installation and service, including tankless water heaters, gas, or electric, call for a quote today.
When you're stuck, call the duck. 904-862-6769.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Jacksonville has some junk, and J-Dog is removing it. They're here to do the dirty work. You don't want to remove and dispose of large furniture or appliances yourself? Call J-Dog. Here now, proudly serving you, removing junk from your home or business. They can even handle small demolition projects, and they're still donating local items to veterans in need. So let J-Dog do the dirty work for you. J-Dog Junk Removal. Veteran-owned and operated. JDog.com.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll-and lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Mike Duraco here for Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage. Let me tell you, I had a bad standing water issue on my front sidewalk, and John Haney and his crew came in and completely solved it. Their service division fixed my sprinkler system too. We all know these guys singing is terrible, but their service is excellent.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. All right, Mike.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is teaming up with the NFL to inspire change. From now to draft day, Big Brothers Big Sisters is following the NFL draft, aiming to recruit potential bigs. Hi, I'm Brent from the 1010 sales team. I'm committed as a mentor, and we need you to step up and become a mentor too. There's a waiting list of more than 50 children hoping for a mentor. It's just a few hours a month. Be a mentor. Become a big. Visit bbsnefl.org. Be a mentor or visit Big Brothers Big Sisters and click on Big Draft.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
They fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Reagan and Haig, Mr. Bagan and friend, Mrs. Thatcher, the Paisley, Mr. Brezhnev and party, the ghost
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And now, adding color, a group of anonymous Latin American meatpacking glitterati.
Did they expect us to treat them with any respect?
If I ever do write songs, I want to write like Waters and Gilmore. That is just...
You can polish their medals and sharpen their smiles and abuse themselves playing games.
Sing with us, people. Ready?
Boom, boom, bang, bang. Lie down, you're dead.
Oh, it's David Gilmour. Is there a better lead singer, lead guitarist in the history of rock and roll than David Gilmour? There is not. Don't Jimi Hendrix me. All right. Don't Billy Gibbons me. Don't Eric Clapton me. He's number one, right? Prince. You Prince people, you could probably bring it. Okay. I may not be in your weight category to take on Prince, because I know you people are going to come after me for every angle, but...
Prince people are like that.
Oh, they are. I mean, they'll throw stuff at me. I mean, they'll play unfair. You know, they're like heels in wrestling. They'll come after me with foreign objects. But we will see. All right, good to be back after a week out. Do appreciate Hacker filling in. Tomorrow night, live report from Indianapolis and the Combine. It really begins to pick up tomorrow because we have live workouts. Okay, that'll be the case Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Also, more golf, right? Bay Hill, my goodness, we are a week away from being out at the Players. Next Wednesday night, we'll be right there at Sawgrass to get ready for the Players' Championship. So what a brilliant time of year it is, no question about it. I want to thank all our guests tonight, including getting an opportunity to talk with Liberty DeVito from the Lords of 52nd Street. They'll be in town next week, original members of Billy Joel. That's going to do it for JJ. My name is Rick Ballou. You have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow at 6.
The Jags have the